We are going in depth talking about the end of privacy this week here on CNN, and this is how computer hackers earned the anger of an entire state police department. Members of the group, they're calling themselves LulzSec, somehow got their hands on a pile of sensitive personal information about officers at the Arizona Department of Public Safety, and then posted that sensitive information on the internet for all to see. Now, the Arizona law enforcement community has, you're about to find out, a big problem with what has happened here. I want to go straight to Phoenix and talk with the president of the Arizona Highway Patrol Association. This is Jimmy Chavez. Jimmy, thank you for coming on. Sorry about the circumstances here. And I think I know the answer to this, but I just want to ask, was your personal information hacked or no?
My personal information, some of that information was hacked, and that was part of a bigger file that had a lot of other information on it as well.
Okay, I know this was a serious breach. Probably some of the people you work with would say that's an understatement. I want you to be very specific. I mean, what kind of, without obviously divulging anything, what kind of personal information was hacked and put out on the internet?
Well, obviously, when you're talking about that information, it deals with password information into the email system, officers' residence locations, phone numbers, that kind of information.
Also pictures, I think I read pictures of wives even, right? I mean, that
I understand, yeah, and I have not, right, and I have not reviewed or seen all the information that was released by this group, but I do understand, and again, the agency is still sifting through all the information. They've got the investigation ongoing right now. But I understand via some of the information or some of the sources that I've talked to that did include some photographs. How detailed those photographs are, I couldn't tell you. I don't know for sure.
Sure. I also understand one of the officers whose, I guess, home address was leaked, he's left his house. So the point I'm trying to make is this is seriously personal, seriously sensitive information. Now, I want to get to the two big questions, the how and the why. We have an idea why, according to these hackers, LulzSec, according to this website, they did it because they're targeting DPS because they're against Senate Bill 1070 and the racial profiling. And I'm quoting, the racial profiling anti-immigrant police state that is Arizona. So that is part of the why, but what about the how? Do you even know that yet?
No, I don't know, and as I said, the agency has asked for some computer forensic help from FBI, and they are working diligently to try to determine exactly how this group was able to hack into the email system. And fortunately, it was only to the email system. So there are other more secure files and databases that were not breached, fortunately. But still, they were able to get some very sensitive information out there and release it to the public. This
has to be some kind of, Jimmy, some kind of wake-up call. I mean, it's one thing, say, for my personal computer to be hacked. It's quite another for, a government DPS, Department of Public Safety, to be breached. What is the agency doing? You mentioned the FBI stepping in. What are you doing so that this never happens again?
Well, I can't speak for the agency itself, but I will tell you that I know the agency is working diligently to try to prevent this from happening again. We've worked very hard in the law enforcement community statewide over the last several years to try to add some protections for information for information relating to law enforcement personnel. That includes some law changes that we've made over the last several years to help protect our identities a little bit more, trying to redact a lot of our information from public access.
Okay, quickly here, what do you want to see to happen to these hackers? We know there was a whole other group, they call themselves the A-Team. They hacked LulzSec. What should happen to these guys?
Well, obviously, if we can, if their identities can be discovered, we've got some support from legislative members, obviously the law enforcement community statewide. We'd like to see these folks prosecuted. We do have some statutes in Arizona that they can be prosecuted for getting into the system as well as releasing personal information that belongs to law enforcement personnel.
Jimmy Chavez, thank you very much. Coming up next here,
thanks for having me.
Wolf Blitzer has your political ticker. Be right back.